As summer progresses, I really do start noticing something quite interesting. Garden centers are full of plants, are full of flowering potential, and yet most gardeners tend to stop sowing at this time of the year because they think they've missed the season and it is too late to get things going and growing now. Well, I think this is one of the biggest misconceptions about gardening. In actual fact, I think for some plants, this is the best time of the year to sow. And today, I want to show you 10 of my absolute favorites to sow when the season is well on its way. And more importantly, why now is the right time to be doing just that. The first of these flowers that really do well with being sown later in the year is calendula, or otherwise known as pot marigold. Now, calendulas are really easy to grow, and generally, when the swirls and the ambient temperatures are as warm as they are now, they tend to germinate in just a few days. They prefer this rather than being sown early in the season when swirls or growing medias are quite cold and they sit there waiting for the temperatures to warm. If you're lucky, they will germinate very quickly within 2 to 3 days. They'll get growing away. If you can protect them from the slugs, which are my biggest adversary at the moment, then they will absolutely grow away and they will flower well before autumn. And if the autumn and early winter is fairly mild, you will have flowers late into the year. So definitely don't hold back on sowing calendulas. If I could mention one of my favorite varieties, it has to be this one called Indian Prince. It's a really vibrant orange and it grows really easily for me. So try this one. If you've never grown nasturtiums, then July is still a brilliant time to sow them. They are naturally fast-growing plants and therefore they don't require weeks and weeks before establishing themselves and ultimately flowering. So now's a good time to sow these lovely big-seeded plants which germinate quickly, grow quickly, and ultimately do flower very quickly. And in fact, this is a good time of the year to sow them because they don't like the cold, wetter weather that we may have had earlier in the season. So definitely still sow these. And again, if the temperatures are fairly mild into the winter, I've had them flowering into November before the first frosts hit. And just two varieties that I could recommend. This one is called Rumba, and it's a really compact variety with lovely sort of lighter pink, almost red flowers. And this little variety, also fairly compact, is called Ladybird Mix, and it gives you these brilliantly bright yellow and cream colored flowers with the redder dots and spots, which really make them stand out amongst all the other plants. Many gardeners, including myself, stop sowing cosmos much too soon because they tend to take a little bit of time to establish to become full, sturdy plants. I think the thinking is, and it's certainly one I've been caught in, is that when it gets too late in the season, you think they won't grow quickly enough to flower. But actually, they do grow rather quickly, especially when it's this warm. And if you can protect them from the onslaught of slugs, then even more so, they will grow quickly and ultimately flower. Now, back in South Africa, where I'm from, you see these growing naturally. Well, not really naturally, but you see them in the fields and they flower into late autumn. So that potential is there for them to actually keep flowering and doing well later into the season. Cosmos are one of those plants that seem to understand summer. Give them enough light, give them enough heat and water, and like I said, protect them from the slugs, and they'll grow away quickly and flower late into the autumn. I've seen cosmos flower up until the very first frosts, and depending on where you live, that can be very late in the year. So just because you think it's midsummer or it is midsummer and you think it's too late, don't hold back on sowing cosmos. In terms of varieties, there are so many to choose from, whether compact or tall. For my own purposes, I prefer to sow compact varieties which do well in pots, although common varieties such as the Versailles Tetra do really well, seashells do really well, and if you like a pure white variety, then Purity is a fantastic go-to. So get on with it and sow these lovely, beautiful garden plants. One of my favorite fillers for pots and the edges of beds must be this wonderful flower called Sweet Allison. They are really, really fantastic and so easy to grow. Not only are they easy to grow because the compost and the soils are so warm during this time of the year, once sown, they really do establish very quickly and they will flower prolifically within a few weeks. So if you want that lovely scent of honey permeating the air in your garden, and just the most beautiful white and even purple dainty little blooms in your garden, then definitely get on to sowing Sweet Allison. California poppies are one of those flowers that I'm starting to think can be sown almost 12 months of the year. Perhaps not in December when it might be snowing or when it's extremely cold. But I have sown them in almost all months of the year, and they seem to do fairly well. They germinate and they emerge quite easily, and then depending on what the weather conditions are, they will just either sit still or grow away slowly and just establish quite well underground before pushing into further leaf and ultimately flower once the weather warms. They are absolutely sun lovers, and they prefer poorer soils, and so they really are good doers for scattering around wherever you want them. And at this time of the year, they will germinate very quickly, and you might even have a few late season flowers late into the year. One thing to note is they don't like to be disturbed once they've emerged and grown, so leave them where you want them to flower, and don't transplant them because they don't do so well with being transplanted. Saying that, however, as these things go, all rules tend to want to be broken, and I have transplanted individual plants after having sown them in modules, and I've done so in the autumn, and I guess with the cooler temperatures, they don't sulk so much. So it is still possible, but if you don't want to faff too much, just sow them where you want them to flower, and now certainly is still a very good time to do so. Cornflowers are one of those classic cottage garden flowers that never seem to go out of fashion. With their vivid blue flowers, which are fantastic for pollinators, they really do well in any garden. July is actually a brilliant time to sow cornflowers. Although they won't flower for you this year, they will be focusing all their energy on establishing a healthy root system, and they are then able to overwinter as young, healthy plants before really bursting into life again in the spring. So don't think because you associate them with spring sowing that you can't do so now. They are very hardy, and they are more than happy to wait patiently if you, as the gardener, are willing to wait patiently, and they will become really robust little plants, and like I said, grow away when the weather warms up after a period of cold. You can sow them directly wherever you want them to flower, or as is my preference, you can sow them into modules, because this gives you a little bit more room with which to play in terms of having control over transplanting them, and more importantly, or just as importantly, protecting them from those evil slugs which do quite like these plants. So yeah, the choice is yours. If you don't have a problem, sow them directly. They'd be more than happy to just overwinter wherever they were sown. We now move on to a group of plants known as biennials, meaning they grow in the first year from sowing, and in the second year they'll flower. It doesn't necessarily have to be years, it can also be seasons, and so therefore July is a fantastic time to sow this group of plants. The first of which I have no seed packet because I've already used it up, but it is wallflowers. It is a classical traditional cottage plant, and it is a fantastic companion plant for tulips and some of your earlier spring bulbs. Now, wallflowers really enjoy being sown at this time of the year because it gives them enough time to establish and to overwinter. And once the colder temperatures arrive, they won't grow very much, but they'll focus again all their growth on root growth. And just as the spring season kicks in, when everything else wants to still recover from the cold winter, they're already flowering and giving you a mass profusion of color and scent. So wallflowers should be your very first sowing of this group of plants. Foxgloves are another plant that will change your thinking of July sowing. I will remember the first time I sowed foxgloves thinking that they would flower that year, only to learn that they focus all their energy on growing a little plant, and then only will they flower after the winter. But they are fantastic, and they are so rewarding if you can be patient enough to sow them now and to wait for next year. Because if you don't sow them, then you won't have any foxgloves, and you'll have to wait another season before you can appreciate those wonderful spiky blooms which the bumblebees and other pollinating insects absolutely adore. So sow these very, very fine seeds lightly into modules. You won't need to cover them very much at all because they do require light to germinate. And as soon as you see a true plant with some sturdy growth, you can transplant them into individual modules or into the ground if they're big enough, and you can let them grow away for the rest of the summer and autumn, and they will sit there as strong, sturdy little plants over the winter, providing some green cover for you. And as soon as the temperatures start rising in spring, they will start growing away again, and that will be followed by a wonderful spike containing beautiful blooms. So do not hesitate to sow foxgloves. Forget-me-nots is another example of a seed packet that I do not possess at the moment, but that does not mean I shouldn't talk to you about them. They're fantastic as well. They are also biennial, and it also requires sowing now in July in order to germinate, emerge, and grow away as little plants before finally bursting into beautiful blue blooms in the spring. I like to sow these in modules as well, and this gives me control over their watering and their transplanting. And once the weather cools down in autumn, you can then move them into their final position and leave them be over winter, and they'll grow away very, very slowly, with most of the growth only commencing in spring. Just be warned, they really are prolific self-seeders, and once you have them in your garden, they will definitely stay. So if you are worried a little bit about having them because they are so profuse and so prolific, then perhaps don't sow them, but they are beautiful, and they, in my opinion, deserve a spot in any colorful garden. Last but certainly not least has to be Canterbury bells. These wonderful flowers, again, are biennial, require sowing now so that they can establish as little plants and grow away slowly in winter before flowering again in the spring. So I love them because of their amazing tubular flowers, which really do attract a lot of pollinators. And now is the right time to sow them. If you've never grown them before, they just require a little bit of heat to germinate at this time of the year. But from there on, they're really easy to grow, and they are really the most rewarding flowers. So certainly give them a try. And in any cottage garden setting, they will be the most memorable plants that you can sow. So can you see the pattern? July or midsummer isn't just about squeezing in as many plants before it's too late. No, instead, it's about understanding what each plant does and how it wants to perform. Some plants will have enough time to still flower and reward you with beautiful blooms this season, while others are slowly building energy and reserves in order to grow away and reward you next year with those beautiful blooms. It's not just about now, it's about planning for the future and looking forward to it. Do let me know in the comments if you are still sowing away, whether you're perhaps sowing any of these, or if there are more that you'd like to add for us to share and to consider sowing before it truly is too late. If you like content like this, please do consider subscribing to my channel, where you will find loads more videos like this, and hopefully some material to inspire you to keep gardening, even though there might be a temptation to slow down as the season progresses. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.